What is up, everybody? This is John with Archer Film. Occasionally when I go to the movies, I go in with such low expectations. Like, really, all I am looking for is a little bit of entertainment value. Something to pass the time where I don't feel like the time is passing. Get a little chuckle here, get a little scared there, maybe feel a little bit of a thrill. Hey, look, if you can throw in a little bit of catharsis and some meaning, hey, that's all the better. But I just want to be entertained. Such is the case for Twisters. And honestly, it's entertaining. It's worth seeing. There are some negatives. I'm going to do those first. The CGI is very lackluster to me. It felt like recycled, tornadoes from the 90s film. They just did not seem menacing or imposing or scary at all. The weather and the sort of clouds and all that stuff just did not seem very real looking to me. It did not sound scary at all. That said, everything else is serviceable as far as that goes. The plot is fine, the story's fine, the characters are fine, the dialogue is fine, the camera work is fine. Everything else kind of just serves what it is, which is a thrill ride. The actors, Daisy Edgar Jones, she doesn't have the chemistry with Glen Powell that, say, Sydney Sweeney did, and she kind of doesn't have a lot of charisma, in my opinion. I mean, at least next to Glenergy, like, that guy's got charisma to spare. So I feel like he needed someone to sort of match that, and I don't think she does. But she does a fine job. She's emotional when it counts, and she has some subtlety when she needs to in such a big movie. Anthony Ramos is fine. The plot is very basic. It's a lot like the original. It is storm chasers trying to throw some shit inside of a tornado so they can learn about it. Right? In this case, it's this advanced military radar, so where they can map out the tornado and do advanced warning. And of course, Daisy Edgar Jones' character, she has her little special thing that she feels like she can, dissipate the tornado, tame it, as she calls it. It has a kind of similar opening, like Helen Hunt's character as a little kid losing her family, and that kind of inspires her lifelong chasing of the tornadoes. In this case, Daisy Edgar Jones, she loses a bunch of friends because she's kind of being arrogant and reckless, and that trauma sort of informs her character through the rest of the movie. Glen Powell plays this brash, arrogant, over-the-top YouTuber who's he's out there. They call him the Tornado Wrangler. He's out there chasing the tornadoes. I am going to have a couple spoilers in this, nothing major. And, the cool thing, I thought, plot-wise, was the fact that in the original, Bill Paxton, the late great, and Helen Hunt, Philip Seymore Hoffman, also the late great, they were the ragtag group kind of scraping together and chasing tornadoes for scientific research. And in this case, our main character, Daisy Edgar Jones, and her partner, Anthony Ramos, they are the corporate-sponsored people chasing the tornadoes, and the sort of bad guy, the Glen Powell, he's the arrogant guy, but he's the ragtag group. So I kind of dug that, how they switched it. And by the time you realize, like, oh, wait, they're the corporate-sponsored bad guys here, then the characters have to kind of confront that and do a little soul-searching and see what's important to them, money or helping people. So I kind of dug that switch. And then, of course, Glen Powell is not just the arrogant, selfish guy that he's painted to be in the first time we meet him. So that was kind of cool. I like how they kind of switched that. That was fun. I did like the ending. It takes place in a movie theater, and surprisingly in this, there's a lot of carnage, a lot of people flying into vortexes. I was not expecting that, and it was a lot. It was like every time a tornado came, people are flying around left and right. That was very entertaining. I loved how at the end, like the movie screen gets sucked into the vortex and people are getting sucked into the screen. When you're in a movie theater and you're watching a movie like that and that's going on, with the shortcomings aside, it's fun. It's a big, fun movie. And by the time it ends, you kind of predict what's going to happen. But it was thrilling. I was like, okay, what's going to happen, but I was still on the edge of my seat through most of it. It was a little emotional at a couple times. And when it ended, you're like, okay, that was cool. That was fun. It's a thrill ride, and it's very successful. It's got Spielberg as executive producer. He executive produced the original. Mark L. Smith as the screenwriter, which, he's hit or miss for me. I mean, he wrote The Revenant, which is great, but he's also written a lot of dog shit. But again, at that level, the script is only so much. You have producers, you have the director, you have the actors, and you never know what, he actually wrote. The director, Lee Isaac Chung, he directed a movie called Minari that won an Oscar for Best Original Screenplay that year. I have yet to see it, but I hear it's great, with Steven Yeun from Walking Dead. So, yeah, the direction was fine. There was nothing, unique about it, but, it served the plot, and the plot served the thrill ride. And, again, Glen Powell's just awesome to watch. I love everything that he's been in so far. He just has that Glenergy, man. There's something about him. You just want to watch him. So that is it, man. I enjoyed the film. So if you want a very basic, popcorn movie with no levels, no layers, it's just a fun, entertaining movie. I do enjoy them when they're done well. Maverick was another one. The Last Mission Impossible was one. But Beverly Hills Cop, dog shit. Deadpool, dog shit. But this was actually really good. So go check it out. Let me know what you think. If there's any other movies that you've seen, let me know what's up. And I'll see you in the next video.